All right. Well, welcome everybody to AM Power. My name is James Leonhardt, and I'm really excited to come to you today on this AM Power. Whether you're watching this live or replay, I just want to let you know how much we appreciate you kind of plugging into these because we have so many amazing speakers. If you are a fan of AM Power, please throw a review on our podcast if you'd love to because we would just love to get more of this word out to everybody because the thing that we have going on here is this idea of one team. And when you think of the concept of one team, it sounds almost utopic. And we've actually used that word on this podcast a few times. And that's the idea. Everyone goes, well, it's not possible for everyone to get along and all these different things. And I do agree to a certain extent. But if you build a foundation, which is what we're going to talk about today, and you have to create something special, the idea of a one team culture is not something that can be created anywhere. I've been in this industry for now going on 26 years. It's been an amazing, amazing ride. I've done startup companies, I've been in corporate, I've been in field, leadership councils, marketing teams. It's been a blast. And over the last 26 years, even if I was horrible, would be able to pick up a few nuggets here and there. And so that's what I want to share with you today. I think in where we are as an industry now, where we are as a economic situation, where we are in the world right now, I think there needs to be an evolving of our industry. There needs to be an evolving and enlightening of we need to do things differently. But here's the challenge. Most companies, and I don't put all companies in this category, but most companies are barely surviving. They're trying to figure out what product should we come out with. Should we change our compensation plan? Should we try to get leaders to come over to our company? And because they're just getting like, how are we going to get momentum in this economy that we're in? How am I going to get momentum when I'm competing with e-commerce and gig society and your DoorDashes and your Ubers, and how do we compete with all that stuff? And so companies find themselves in a place where they're competing with each other, where they're going out there, and you might have seen this in this industry, and people will say mine is better than yours. Our product is amazing and it does 95,000 different things, and you just take it and your whole world lights up and you never have to take another product in your life. We have a compensation plan. If you just do two things, you'll get paid billions of dollars. All these crazy things that people come out with because they're trying to compete against each other. They're trying to go, I'm better than you, or, in some cases, they're better than them, all these different things. And what I want to make a case for today is how can a company create an unfair advantage where culture is really the focus over competition? Because the days of competition really in our space are over. We've seen companies close, seen companies merge, we've seen companies come out of nowhere and change their complete distribution model when the only reason they were a company is because of their distribution model. But it comes down to going, okay, well, if I want to be part of something, if I have a skill level of I want to get good at doing this kind of business, there's a lot of people on this call and probably listening today. It doesn't matter. I could drop you probably into any company and you'd create success. You'd create the culture. The challenge with that is not everyone can do that. It's a skill set. It's one of those things where I could probably drop a few people in here in a country they've never been to before, and within 6 to 12 months, they'd be making 6, 7 figures in some type of industry just because they've developed a skill set. But what do you do with people that go, listen, I just want to be in a place that I can feel safe, heard, secure, where I can really build something that I can believe in short term, midterm, and long term. And I'm not just sitting there hoping and praying that the powers that be figure it out along the way. Because in this industry, one of the misconceptions is that you are in business for yourself. But wait a minute, James. I thought I was in business for myself. Well, you are, but you're in someone else's business for yourself. And if they change the business, that will change what you do. You don't really have a lot of control. It's more like being an investor in like a stock or something like that. Because if you're an investor in, say, Microsoft, you don't dictate what Microsoft does. You're just a shareholder. Now, if you got 51% of the company, then you could dictate it. But really, if you're an investor in something, that's how I look at this industry, or really up until now, I've looked at the industry like that, where I'm trying to do an educated bet. I'm trying to go, okay, I believe with all the things that are going on in this company, that I think this would be a good place to plant a flag. And so, just like an investor, I make an investment of my time, my money, my effort, and I push my chips in and I make that investment. The challenge is once you become an investor and then you get to see the books and all the different things, and maybe you put more time and more effort into it. Maybe you multiply that time and effort with other people that you introduce, and you get into the investment, you're like, I don't know if this investment is playing out. You kind of, maybe you do this and then your investment kind of goes down a little bit. You're like, I want up, I want momentum. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm really going to break down, why is this old model of really network marketing, direct sales, why is it not broken, but why does it need to be fixed? And so here's a few things that are wrong or broken with this old model of network marketing that's been around for, probably 100 years, something like that. So number one is corporate versus field. And this has been prevalent. I've been in this industry for 26 years. Like I said, this has been prevalent at a lot of companies, whether it's a startup, an established company, company momentum. Most companies, there's this vibe of corporate versus field. And that doesn't even make any sense when you say it out loud. Because the only reason there is corporate is because there is a field. And the only reason there is a field is because there is corporate. So, but a lot of the times it feels like corporate comes out and says, this is what we're going to do. And the field either has to accept it, challenge it, or they need to bubble themselves to do their own thing. And that happens a lot in companies. I believe one of the reasons for that, we're going to get into that today, is because a lot of people in corporate don't have a lot of experience building a multi-million dollar business here in this industry. And so that's one. Number two is people putting the product first and people second. What do I mean with that? Shouldn't we always put the product first, James? Well, not really. The product is what we are bringing to the market. People are where this business is really at. People, if we don't have people, we don't have product. if we bring people in and then people go out, it doesn't matter how amazing our product is. It could, make you sprout wings. But if people are leaving, then it doesn't really matter. Last one is people in this industry, and really this is kind of because of social media, I believe, is there's this pace to the business we've adopted as normal, where people want to recruit really fast and hopefully retain. Where it's like, okay, they have like fast start bonuses and go, go, go mentality and come in and go fast and all this kind of stuff. In reality, your business, your long-term success is based on residuals. It's based on how many people stick around 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. How many people that you enroll today are around 12 months from now? Doesn't matter if you enroll 100 people in your first 30 days, or one of the popular things out there is enroll 20 people in your first 30 days and your business will take off. Well, if you enroll 20 people and then 20 people leave, that's zero. So you want 20 people to enroll and you want 19 to be around in 12 months from now. How do you do that? I believe it's culture. And so when people have momentum fizzles and people go through burnout and all these different things, I really feel it's because there are certain focuses and principles that are not being followed. And that's what we're going to talk about today in our unfair advantage. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to break it down into a few different things. We're going to break it down into 5 key pillars of, what should a company, I don't, it doesn't matter what company you are out there, it doesn't matter if it's us or someone else. And if you're in a company and these 5 pillars are not in place, you might want to go, hmm, do I really think this is going to be around the next 5 to 10 years? Now, if you're doing this business and you just want to make a couple $100 and get some free products, and you don't have to really make a decision that we're talking about today. I'm talking to the people that are going, I want to make 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 or more per month, and I want to do it in a business model that's going to be around in 5 to 10 years. If that's you, that's kind of who I'm talking to. If you want to make a little money somewhere and get free products, hey, you can pick whatever company you want. But if you want to treat this as a business, that's what we are going to talk about. So, number one, and I have my notes with me today. Number one, so I stay on track. Number one is you have to own the manufacturing and the logistics. And number one and number two are almost kind of tied together, but not really. So the old adage, right, of he who controls the supply chain controls their own destiny. So if you are at the mercy of a third party company, if you're at the mercy of white label manufacturing, if you're at the mercy of certain things, your business will always be potentially in jeopardy. So you want to be the one that controls all those manufacturing, because if we all know what happened in 2020 when supply chains went wonky. If you don't control that and you're not in the manufacturing game, you're at the mercy of everybody else. You're at the mercy of your suppliers, your manufacturer, your warehouse agents. You're at the mercy of all those things that you just can't control. You want to be able to prevent shortages and plan for the future. Like, one of the things that our company does is they actually have 6 months or more of raw materials in their largest producing month. So, for example, if we do $10 million in sales of products in a given month, we're going to have $10 million a month of raw material saved in a warehouse, which you got to have a pretty big warehouse to do that. We have that saved on the back burner in case we have a spike. If we all of a sudden somebody comes in and they do 20 million or gosh, 30 million in a given month. Now, would we have to scramble a little bit? Yes, because we got to get the product made, but we don't have to be, oh my gosh, where are we going to get this from and that from and all these different things. We've got it in house and we can ramp up production really, really fast. And so you want to have the idea that you control it, because you can't, this is huge. You can't lead a product driven movement, which is what we are. We're a product, we have coffee, we have product driven. You can't do that if someone else is controlling your production and kind of your pricing. So number one is you got to own your own manufacturing, and even if you can, own your own logistics. Number two is you have to have an Amazon pricing model. You go, wait a minute, what's that? Doesn't Amazon crush everyone's pricing? Well, yeah, the ones that are competing against each other. You've got products out there that a single product is like $80 or $90 or $150. I know there's a very popular product out there, a drink that's, I think it's $130 for a month worth. And the challenge is because our society is educated and they're smarter than they ever been, people want premium value at wholesale prices. So even if I expose you to a product and you go, oh my gosh, James, this product's amazing. I've lost 50 pounds. It's just amazing. It makes me feel great. As the educated consumer, at some point, that person, if they're a great customer, they never want to build any again, ever, ever. And they just want to be a great customer. Eventually they're educated and they're going to Google and they're going to Amazon. And they go, I wonder if I can get this cheaper somewhere else. They might be able to, they might not be able to. But that's the biggest thing, because the Amazon pricing model, if you don't know, has actually changed over the years. If you don't know the story of Amazon, I'd highly encourage you to study it. It's fascinating. It started as a book company, and then they sold books online, and now they sell everything from A to Z. That's a little smiley face if you don't know that, A to Z. A little tidbit for you today. But with Amazon, what they do now is they go and they find the best selling products in their marketplace, which is global and worldwide and billions of dollars. And they go, oh, which one of these products is the best performing? Oh, batteries. Okay, let's make our own batteries. Then they source their own batteries, they slap their name on it, they cut the price in half, and now they sell batteries. And so that Amazon pricing model of being able to really outdo anybody that comes on their marketplace, that's kind of what we do now. We have a foundation of adaptogenic products that have been proven at the clinical level that we have as a baseline of our product line. And now we're adding on experiential products that we can just do better than anyone else. We can source it better. We can prepare it better. We can launch it better. We can pay out double or triple sometimes. All these different things. It's almost an unfair advantage because you couldn't do it in any other type of company. So number one was own the manufacturing. Number two was have an Amazon pricing model. Number three, which is I almost believe impossible if you're a US based company, is low cost infrastructure. Because to run a company and to scale to a billion or beyond, you need a really great workforce that you control. And in order to do that in the US, I mean, it just costs a lot of money for employees. And in other countries, you can hire a lot of employees for a little bit of income, even if you double or triple their salary because of the cost of living. It's just different. And when you do that and you have this infrastructure where you can really offer things like the Amazon pricing model, where the reason you can offer at such low prices is because you have low infrastructure or low cost infrastructure and you have your own manufacturing and your own logistics. One of the, I think, the falsehoods in this industry is when people say, oh, yeah, join our business because we cut the middlemen out. It's just not true. There's still middlemen. It's just different because in this industry, your middlemen are your manufacturer, your logistics company, your back office company, your tech company, your website company. Those are still all people that have to be paid. And then as distributors or affiliates of a company, you are paid last. And it's time for that to change. It's time for that to change. It's time for that to change. And in order for that to change, you have to do things differently. And that's what we're doing here. So low cost infrastructure, smart, lean systems will empower scalability and freedom. So that's number three. Number four, and we already kind of talked about this a little bit, so I'll be able to go over this pretty quickly, is no line between field and corporate. Now, there are corporate people on here right now. I see them all over the place. We've got a lot of corporate people on here, and they're always in the field. There is no line. Now, are there things that corporate's working on, and then they'll let the field know about it and everything? Yes, but the field is in the conversation, not how most companies operate, where corporate will come out with an initiative and go, hey, guess what? This is what we're doing. And Sarah has to go, oh, okay. Now I have to figure out how to do that. This is a collaboration of corporate and field, where even a lot of people that we have in the field are hybrids and have a corporate position that they're helping the entire company grow. Like we talked about that idea of one team. It's what I've been looking for really the last, I would say, 10 years, is the ability to work with a company, work with field, and build this idea that we are not competing against each other. We are collaborating with each other in the field and with corporate to build something special. And most companies, because of how they're founded, and we're going to talk about this is number five, but how they're founded is they're founded kind of in a lab or in a boardroom, and they don't have the mission that we're going to talk about here in a second. So with removing this line between corporate and field, the best ideas, and this is what I think a lot of companies, not just in our space, but if you talked about with a lot of other companies, not in our space, best ideas don't come from boardrooms, they come from the trenches. So what do I mean by that? If I'm in a company and I want to come out with a new product, the best people to ask what product to come out with, maybe my current customers. Hey guys, what do you guys want to buy? And they go, well, we like protein. Okay, let's come out with a better protein. Or hey, we want to come out with an NAD product. Great, let's do an NAD product. Now, most companies can't do that because they're limited, like we talked about the own manufacturing. They're limited to going, oh, I have to white label an ingredient. Can we get sourcing? How much do we have to order in order to get our price down to where we can do all the different things? And if you're dictated by that, there's always going to be this line between corporate and field, because corporate has to make decisions based on, how do we keep the company in business? Because they're looking at profit margins and everything. And when you make it so you get to dictate your own profit margins, that's where you get a little crazy. And if you're a company that is white labeling products, that basically means, maybe you're taking an ingredient or you're taking something that already exists, and all you're doing is you're slapping a label on it. A lot of companies in our space do that. Not every company, but a lot of companies. Now we put labels on our products that are made by us for us, and we have that ability. So you want to involve all the leaders. And when I say leader, I don't just mean the top of the company. I mean you involve everybody in strategic decisions. Because when people feel heard, like they have some type of voice, that's when it feels like your business. Because when people feel heard, they build harder and stay longer. One of the only reasons I feel that people leave a company is because of the culture, because of how they feel being with a company. Because the product probably didn't work or didn't change. Maybe the comp plan didn't change, but because of the feeling of the culture, they're like, I don't know if I want to be around these people. That can make somebody leave something even when they have it good. I've been in situations where making a lot of money, but for some reason there was a friction, left, right, up, down, whatever it was. And because you have developed the skill set, you go, do I really want to deal with this friction if it's, something you can't fix? And so that can be a reason that people, move away from a company. Number five, I think it's probably the biggest one. You're going to see a lot of this coming out from our company very, very soon, is mission driven and purpose led. I mentioned before, I've been in corporate before, I've done consulting before, I've watched companies, grow from zero to nothing, hundreds of millions of dollars. And you watch how companies are founded. And some companies, they're founded in a boardroom where they're like, "Hey, we got this product. It's a great product. What should we name it? What should the logo look like? And when they come up with all this stuff, and they go, okay, then we'll attach this here, and then we'll come out with it, and we'll tell everybody about it." And people go, "Oh, wow, its brand's amazing. It's beautiful." I'm like, "Yeah, but they paid a branding firm just to come up with it." That's one way that a company will come out, or maybe a company will come out and it's a person that's been in the field before and they're disillusioned, like, this doesn't work, I'm going to do it myself. Like, I don't know if you should do that either, because you really need people that, where this future of this industry is going to belong to the people where it actually means something. Now companies can evolve. Don't get me wrong. A company could have started one way and then over the years they evolve into something else. It's rare. It always feels like, I know a couple of companies, I won't name names, that are out there that always feel like they're trying to reinvent themselves all the time. And you can really go all the way back to their origination, why they were founded, and go, oh, they weren't really founded on something substantial. And so when you really are focused on what is our mission, what's driving us, you're not selling anymore. What you're doing is you're making an impact. So when you enroll somebody in our company, whether it's a customer or an affiliate, you're going to make an impact on their life because they're going to get access to high quality products at Amazon style prices, even lower. Because I was showing somebody today how to get coffee for $6. They're like, well, hold on, I don't understand. How am I going to get coffee for $6? It's okay. You'll learn as you get into the culture. And so you have all these different things that people aren't going to get burnt out doing something meaningful. Because for me, and this is just personal experience, sometimes when I've been in past companies, I get up and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm going to have to go talk to people today. I'm going to go have to prospect. I'm going to have to get on calls. And this is one of the times in my career, there's probably been two or three times I've kind of felt like this over the last 26 years. During this time that we're with this company, I get to be on calls. I get to do an AM power. I feel empowered to help people like never before because I know all of these unfair advantages we have that you can literally, like Miles talks about. You can give me any compensation plan, give me any product line, give me any executive team. I will put our founder against any founder on the planet and go, not that he's better. It's not a who's better. It's that the culture here and what we're founded on is something that resonates with people at a very core, almost divine level, that people feel drawn to this company. I'm talking to a big leader right now, and they're like, I don't know what it is, but I just need to join the company. I'm like, hey, I totally agree. And it has nothing to do with me. And when you mix that, like Ashley just said in the chat here, when you mix a founder with being humble and open and all these different things, it's just something that is unmatched that I've never seen before. And so we're going to bring this in for a landing now, because there's a little bonus, a little bonus that kind of goes along with our founder. So we've got those 5 pillars and principles, right? Well, as a bonus, founders with field credibility is massive, because when you have people that founded a company and they have such a high belief level in this industry, that this is the future of the company. You're not going to wake up one day and be like, oh, we're going to do business differently, because the reason it was founded and the reason that the mission came out of where we are is because they wanted to bring these formulations to the world. And they knew over the last 20 years of success in this industry, where they didn't leave a company disillusioned or like, heck with this industry, we're going to do it better. It's they wanted to create something that was the evolution, what other people couldn't really do, because of these 5 pillars. And when you have founders, and all of our founders have experience in this industry, not just a little, like a lot of experience in this industry, that people that they see in the field, and this is a big thing, they don't see you as a number on a spreadsheet. They don't even really look at you as, are you performing or not? You are seen as they see themselves when they are in the trenches, when they know that your heart might be outperforming your numbers and your desire might be going faster than what you see on a leaderboard. And they take that into consideration. One of my first mentors in the industry was a gentleman by the name of Art Williams, way back in the day. Everyone knows Mr. Art Williams, and he did amazing things in this industry. And he would always say, "You can't measure the heart of a person until you put them on the field. You just can't. You can have best resumes and all this stuff, but if you put them on the field, you're going to see what they perform." And when you have something that can't be copied, because here's the thing, we already have companies that are copying us, or they're trying to. They're like, oh, that's a great aspect of the comp plan. Oh, wow, that's a great product. Let's come out with that one. And oh, well, how can we do this? And how can we do that? The trouble and their challenge is going to be, you can't copy culture, because you need to be in the culture and experience it to really be part of it. I can't watch it on a video. I can maybe get a vibe of it, but until I'm in it, maybe then you could copy it, but you can't really copy the roots of it. And so comp plans and products can always be copied. I can go find the best comp plan, the best product, and honestly, we could bring that into our company and do it better if we wanted to, because we could. The roots you can't see, so you can't copy them. That was a great one. Great one, Tanya. And so again, that's what it comes down to, is that vision and credibility cannot be copied. And that's really what you have here. So I want to leave you with this. It's about setting a new standard. So when you're out there and you're with our company, I want you to walk with your head a little higher. I want you to walk with the ability going, this is not about me competing against that company or this company, or going, we have the best comp plan, or we have the best products, or best pricing, or best of whatever you want to call it. It's about going out in the world and delivering a message of, we need to do things better. And here is how a company could do it better. And if you're looking for that, I want to share it with you. And if you're not looking for that, wonderful, stay exactly where you are and what you're doing. But if you're somebody that wants to get out of the hype, to get out of the rat race, to get out of the, I always feel like I'm, doing 2 steps forward and 2 steps, or 5 steps back and 2 steps forward and 5 steps back. If people want to get off that and they want to go, I want to plant my flag and build a company where we are collaborating together, where, even if someone gets upset, because this is not perfect. That's the thing about utopia. Utopia is not a perfect place. It's a perfect culture for people to come together. And if there's troubles, if there's challenges, You do this thing. It's called communication. You talk about it, but you have to have people that understand how to do that. And so those are the things I wanted to share with you today. Is like what is this unfair advantage that we have here? And I want you to go out in the world today and share that unfair advantage with people. And not in a cocky way, not in a way of like, I'm better than you. It really just comes down to I want you to be aware because people are not even aware about how Amazon works. They're not aware about how pricing models work and manufacturing and white labeling. No one's really aware of that until you're in it. And maybe you're at the top of a company, then you become aware of it. And sometimes, because I've been there, when you get to the top of the company, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that that was a thing. So it really comes down to you always want to make people aware. That's our job. Our job is to go out there and deliver a message to other people that they can relate to and go, I need to learn more about that. Can you show me? Can you bring me in a little bit? And just bring people in and let them be in this culture. Don't sell products, don't sell comp plan. Show people the culture here, and they're going to want to join you. And then they're going to ask, what are your products like? What's your compensation plan like? Because if you're constantly bringing people in culture, you're going to create something that can't be duplicated and they can't find anywhere else. So with that, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us on these AM powers.